Do you ever feel like a vagabond when you just want to be a warrior and a hero? But you feel like your life's constantly being tormented by bandits, both real and emotional. So you look to the skies for inspiration from the stars. You want a prophecy to guide your way, to fight for a noble cause like the samurai of old, to escape the prison your heart's in as you confess your deepest desire. You wretch!
Hello, my special power is to not have clothes on.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hello, my fellow tarnished, and welcome to Elden Ring. Yes, indeed. This game, ladies and gentlemen, is a masterpiece, but it is overwhelming, it is massive, it is complex, and really, the choices you make can echo with ramifications throughout your entire journey. One of those choices, and thank you very much to Bandit for letting us get in a bit early and figure things out for you guys. One of those choices is your starting character base, your starting class, as it were. Do you want to fight with sword and shield, with pure, overwhelming magic, with an uncomfortable, tight-fitting metal helmet?
You don't understand. It gives me the greatest of advantages. It makes me feel very good.
Never pick prisoner. Just don't pick prisoner. Okay, you can pick prisoner. Every single character base has its advantages and disadvantages, of course. And indeed, every single character base, ultimately, frankly, doesn't matter in the slightest. And this choice is actually one that isn't up there with the most important you'll make in this game. Don't get me wrong, it heavily defines and influences your first, 2 to 5 hours of gameplay. But make no mistake, no matter which one you pick, you can do quite literally anything. You can start with the mind of a warrior and end up blasting off pyromancy fireballs to your heart's content come the end of the game, and any other which way switch in between. So with that being said then, well, yeah, don't worry about this too much. Go with whatever your gut's telling you, with whatever you think just looks cool, with whatever you think just looks most fun based on their starting equipment. Now, I realize that's probably a wholly unsatisfying answer to those of you that are sat there going, no, tell me which one is the best, because I want to not die. God, I'm so scared. And okay, fine, let's actually try and answer that question. And to answer that question is ultimately quite easy. It is the Vagabond. This is your classic knight, and if you're new to the Soul series with Elden Ring, or haven't played for a while, or generally just want to have the easiest time possible as you get used to the game, its world, its mechanics, the Vagabond is the way to go. To start with, it's hard to kill. It's the tankiest of all of the starting classes, and that will give you a huge advantage when learning new bosses and enemies. It's also then got a healthy mix of strength and dex, meaning that you can specialize into essentially any given melee weapon that you find and take a liking to. It also naturally sets you up for a quality playstyle. A quality build in Souls is a good amount of strength and dex using a weapon that scales from both stats effectively. A classic prime example is the longsword, but you also have stuff like the katana. Essentially, if you don't know what you're gonna be doing, the Vagabond works great. It can eventually, of course, turn into anything, as can every character base, of course. It really is a very minor choice when you're looking at 50 hours down the line, but for the start, it just sets you up in a really strong position. The only thing I will say is if you know for a fact that you want to use magic, you prefer magic, you want to be ranged, you want to cast spells, then choose the astrologer. Everything else is a little bit more specialized, but that said, I will go through every single character base now and kind of give you a lowdown of the playstyle that it pushes you towards, just in case that appeals to you, and you can then select it and try it working towards that style. So, Vagabond we've covered. Warrior then is basically Vagabond but no strength strength, all dex. It's definitely squishier, and you want to be going for full dexterity-based weapons like curved swords. It's exotic weaponry. You're going to be doing flashy flourishes with the blade. You can also have some quite long-reaching weapons, speary polearmy, and basically treat this as the one for you if you like a more agile playstyle. Hero, on the other hand, is the extreme other direction. It is no dex, all strength, all health, all big meaty smash, using massive weapons, huge colossal two-handed hammers and great swords, tanking, poisoning, hyper-armoring through enemy attacks, and then returning with colossal damage, not giving a goddamn what the enemy does or thinks because you have a weapon in your hands bigger than both you and it, and my god, you will smush. And that's, you know, just kind of where we go with the hero if you want to take it in the extreme direction from where it first points you to. Axes, of course, are another one that this likes to play with, and it's also a fantastic template if you want to go big, heavy shield, block attacks, counter and return damage, and hide behind a fortress of plate armor. So, yeah, if you... this is the one. The Bandit, then, basically think of your stealthy assassin, roguey type character. Obviously, there's not actual stealth other than crouching and sneaking past enemies, but everyone can equally do that. But this is much more bow and arrow. It's much more dagger, fast, stab, 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 stab. It is a definitely lighter class, lighter armor, less health, but it does have a healthy mix of arcane, which will come in handy later if you want to invest in dragon powers. I won't go too much into that because of spoilers, but yeah, there's basically a whole slew of dragon powers, and you do need a good amount of arcane for a lot of them. So basically, if you want to start by stabbing people in the back and end by burning them to death with your breath, this is quite a neat little choice. The astrologer, then, as I said, is just your basic sorcerer magic blast. Very squishy, very easy to kill, but has a lot of offensive potential right from the get-go, and if you want to keep just going deep into magic, you really can't go better. This is essentially, I want to cast spells, choose it. I don't want to cast spells, don't choose it. It's that simple. Prophet is the same as the astrologer, but the spells in question are faith spells, holy magic. So this is, I want to be a paladin of the light! Put on armor and heal and make the floor glow with radiance and burning rays of death. This is a good one to start that path, and it's also the best starter if you know you want to go dragon powers, because a faith and arcane mix is the one for you. The one major disadvantage of the Prophet, of course, is you look like an absolute pillock. What is that? I'm gonna put my head through a wooden board and then blindfold myself so I don't have to look in a mirror. Samurai, then, is basically the Vagabond, but a little bit more specialized in dex and a little bit less strength for a more well-rounded stat build in general. It keeps a starting bow and arrow like the Bandit, give you a bit of range potential, and its starting armor is pretty decent too. It's a very good all-rounder if you want to generally go melee but aren't sure in what capacity but don't want to be the Vagabond. Samurai does work for you. Prisoner, then, is essentially, I want to be a sorcerer, but I don't want to be made of paper and hit like a wet noodle fish. It's your kind of battle mage template that gets you going in that direction. Confessor, then, is the same as the prisoner, but for faith. So basically, think of the prisoner and confessor as the astrologer and the prophet, but I also want to stab things. Confessor is kind of the paladin, the holy warrior. He's got his magic, he's got his faith spells, but he's also got a big old sword and shield, and he's not afraid to smash you with both. The wretch, then, is, well, the blank slate, the template, the basic. It's a very, very strong starting option if you know exactly what you want to do and you want to get there as fast as possible. If you're just starting, you want to explore, you want to take your time, you want to learn, you don't know what's going to happen, how you're going to feel, it's not the best because, of course, you do start naked, with a club and a torch. It's not really the best experience. It's a fantastic option for maybe your second playthrough with a specific build and style in mind, but for right now, I would largely avoid it. So, that is the classes, the bases in a nutshell and what they lean towards. Hopefully that helps inform your choice. But there is one more choice that you do need to make once you have selected your starting spread of stats, and that is your Keepsake. These are little items that give you a little boost at the start of the game, just to add a little bit of extra flavor. There's a lot of options, but a few of them really stand out above the rest. And basically, you want to choose between 3. The Stone Sword Key is a rare find key. You'll get more of them. They're one use only, and they essentially unlock treasure rooms. So if you know of a specific treasure room and you want to start the game, run there, grab a cool weapon that's within it, and then use that weapon as you go through the game, this is a neat option. But obviously, if you're playing for the first time, you have no idea, so it's not really worth taking in that capacity, but it definitely is worth mentioning. The 2 that I would definitely recommend as being by far and away the best are the Crimson Amber Medallion, because a little bit of an increase in starting health is very useful, especially if you're playing a class with, I would say, about less than 12 vigor. You probably want to choose this one. But, undeniably, the overall superior choice is the Golden Seed. This essentially lets you start the game with 1 extra flask, so that is huge. A whole extra heal can really power you forward and save the day. Now, don't get me wrong, as you play through the game, you will eventually reach maximum flask charges anyway, and at that point, well then, this starting item is essentially wasted because you could have had something else and max flask charges, but I cannot overestimate or overstate enough how much having an extra heal just massively helps start your journey right. So if you're a little bit like unsure on this list, Golden Seed is the way to go. Other than that then, make your character have fun and enjoy dying in the most glorious ways possible, you young tarnished. I hope this has definitely helped. Please let me know if it has. Please let me know your choice. What build are you going for? Like if you have enjoyed this, subscribe for more. And until we meet again, please consider supporting the future of the channel and Patreon down below. A goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.